Hey guys, Emily Jean. If you are new here and if you're not new, welcome back. I'm so excited to see you. It has been way too long and we have a lot to catch up on. So today I'm doing my reading wrap up for July and August, and I found like an all-time new fave. All time. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, and let's get cozy. Okay, so July and August, I read 14 books, 7 in each month. I DNF'd one book and I started 3 additional ones, and it was a great reading summer. It was not so great for recording YouTube videos. We took a trip to Florida, we went on camping trips, we just had a blast hanging out with the neighborhood kids, and it was an awesome summer. This is the first time I'm feeling really, really ready for winter, for hibernation, for calming down a little bit. So we're getting back into a routine now and it feels really good. And I'm excited to chat with you about books again. Okay, so the first book that I read in July was Untamed by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, and this is book 4 in the House of Night series. So I am continuing that series. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's probably a 3-star series for me, except for the enjoyment and the atmosphere. Those always bump me up to a 4-star rating. So I did give this 4-star. I love the atmosphere of night school, vampire school, and I really always enjoy these books. So this was a solid 4-star read for me. And then, dun dun dun, dun I started and finished all the books so far available in the Murderbot series. Oh my god. Murderbot! I love Murderbot. I am in love with this series. Every single thing about this series I am obsessed with. I devoured these. They're pretty quick reads. Most of them are novellas, and there's one full-length novel now available. But if you don't know this, please, please, please check it out. If you like sci-fi, if you like sentient robots, if you like kind of the space atmosphere, this is for you. So Murderbot. Murderbot is a robot, but so much more than a robot, who's designed to be like hired out for protection, designed basically to murder and protect. And he doesn't want to do that. He really loves watching TV shows. So he's just sarcastic, funny. He's really loyal to people that he interacts with, and the whole atmosphere, the whole series is just so good. So I read all the books currently available, which is All Systems Red, Artificial Condition, Rogue Protocol, Exit Strategy, Fugitive Telemetry, and Network Effect. So Network Effect is actually the full-length novel, and I read it last because I was doing some research before I read them. Fugitive Telemetry is actually the one that came out most recently, but in the timeline, it kind of happened before Network Effect. And I also kind of wanted to end on the full-length novel since I knew there wouldn't be any new ones for a while. And that order totally worked for me and made sense, and I loved it. So, I gave them all 4 stars with the exception of Network Effect, which I ended up giving 5 stars because of intrigue level. It was a 10 out of 10 for intrigue level, so that bumped it up into 5 stars. These are just incredible reads. Love it. I think the series overall is definitely 5 stars. It's really unique, and please, if you've read this, chat with me in the comments because I want to chat all the things Murderbot. I think I'll definitely go back and reread this series. I've heard that listening to it's really enjoyable as well, so I am going to do that. This was my new fave that I found for sure. Lots of 9s across the board for my CAWPILE. I'm surprised more of them didn't bump over to 5 stars, but that's the way that it rolls. So that's the Murderbot Diaries with Martha Wells, and there are more set to be coming out, which I'm really excited about. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. Check it out if you haven't already. If it sounds up your alley, would totally recommend. And then I read I continued on in the Unlucky Succubus series, which is also one of my new favorite series of this year. The Unlucky Succubus series by L.L. Frost is about this succubus named Addie who doesn't want to be a succubus. She doesn't want to use her powers in the traditional way. So she starts a cupcake store to be able to kind of absorb pleasant energy that way rather than the traditional ways that succubi do. And it's just a really fun series. It's actually reverse harem if you like romance styles. Sometimes the romance scenes are a little too spicy for me and I sort of skip ahead, but really enjoyable. And if you like spicy scenes, then you definitely want to check this out too. So I read Succubus Dreams, Succubus Trials, Succubus Undone, and Succubus Reborn. All of them scored 4 stars on the CAWPILE ratings. Just really, really fun, enjoyable books. And she actually releases them in serial format, so you get one chapter at a time and then the full-length novel is released. Because I just found this series, I've read all of them in the full-length format with the exception of the newest one, Succubus Reborn. And I started reading that in the serial format and I just can't do it. I like to read it all. It was too broken up that way for me. I'd forgotten what I read about in the previous chapters. I think it's released every week, every couple of weeks. And a chapter is super quick. So I actually want to go back and reread that when it's released as a full length, because the serial format just didn't work for me. But overall, love that series. So the next book that I read, because I love L.L. Frost so much and I loved this series, was called Drunk Girl, which is also by L.L. Frost, and it's a spin-off of the Unlucky Succubus series. It takes a few of the characters that we meet later on in the series and gives them their own series. They're called the Cleaners, and they kind of clean up these demonic messes, and I've really enjoyed their characters in the Unlucky Succubus series, but Drunk Girl just fell a little bit flat for me. I didn't feel like we got to know the characters any more deeply. I know there's going to be a lot more in this series, so I'm hoping that I like some other ones. This one ended up getting a 3-star for me. The writing was good, the atmosphere was good, but I just wasn't as intrigued as I thought I would be by the characters in this book. So that was Drunk Girl by L.L. Frost. And then we have 2 more. I did read For the Wolf, the Wilderwood first book by Hannah Witten. And this is a sort of Red Riding Hood retell, but I wouldn't say exactly. Like if you go in expecting totally traditional Red Riding Hood, that's not what you're going to get. What drew me to this, and it was just recently released this year, was that the forest is a huge character. The forest is mysterious and it has its own like thoughts and desires, and it was just, that really intrigued me and really drew me in. I'm sorry I don't have any of the book covers. I've been getting most of my books from the library or on my Kindle, so nothing physically to show you, but look up some of these covers, especially for the Wildwood or for the Wolf, because it is a really beautiful cover if you haven't seen it. So I enjoyed the book. It was really interesting, but it ended up getting 3 stars for me. It was just sort of low intrigue. It took me a little while to get into it. I did enjoy the atmosphere. I definitely enjoyed the characters. There were some logic pieces that bumped me out towards the end. I was like, would they really do that? What is this? Does this make sense? There is going to be more in the series, so I think I'll check it out. We'll see how I'm feeling when it comes out. But it was a good read. I would recommend it. It was a solid 3 in the middle. Enjoyable. Not the worst, not the best. So yeah, that's For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. And then I finally finished the Seafire series by Natalie C. Parker. So book 3 was Stormbreak. This is a really fun series if you like seafaring atmospheres, if you like women pirates. They're not necessarily called pirates, but it's really that sort of vibe as you're reading. So Stormbreak by Natalie C. Parker was the last one in the Seafire series, and I loved this series. It was so enjoyable. I actually listened to the whole series on audiobook and loved the narrator. She hit it out of the park. So good. Stormbreak was my least favorite of the series. It just didn't hit exactly the same as the first two, but I still ended up giving it 4 stars. It's a little bit low on the 4 stars, but overall, I would say this series 4.5, just really enjoyable, a really fun read. Okay, so those were all the books that I read in July and August. And the book that I DNF'd was The Black Witch by Laurie Forrest. So I am working through all of my TBRs from 2018 and before. And this one was on that list. And I started it and I felt like I've read it. Like, I know I haven't read this specific book before, but it felt really predictable and not that new. I might give it another shot down the road. Let me know if you've read it and you think that I should. Maybe it gets better. I don't remember. I might have made it 50 pages in, but it just wasn't grabbing my attention. So I DNF'd The Black Witch by Laurie Forrest. And the 3 books that I started were Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm listening to this on audiobook. I've been wanting to come back to the series for a long time. I started reading it in a physical book format a while ago, and something told me I really wanted to listen to it on audio. It's like a space opera with tons of information and world building and characters, so I thought it'd be really enjoyable on audio. So I restarted Children of Time. I've started Marked in Flesh by Anne Bishop. This is in the other series that I've been reading and really enjoying. And then I also started Happy-ish by Kara Troutman. I think this one may be one I end up DNFing, but I, at the time, was just looking for kind of a short, fun read. So those are the additional books that I started in August. Okay, that's July and August wrap up. I am so happy to be back, so happy to see you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and hopefully I will see you in another video very soon. Bye, guys.